The first phase of Season of Discovery was so much fun. I had like a blast logging in, just seeing like thousands of Taurens in the starting zone, all competing for the same quest mobs and the same quest items. Like, it was actually nuts, and I thought it was really cool. You saw a lot of runes early, like in your starting zone. They threw you a bone, like, you know, here's your first rune. Well, I thought we were gonna have maybe a similar experience in the Season of Discovery phase 2, but I knew that it wasn't gonna be quite the same, because you have a slightly different setup. When you're starting at level 1, everyone's in the same starting zone, but when you're starting at level 25, there's no specific place to go. You have several options for how you can choose to level. You can go through the different quest zones, or you can go do dungeons or whatever. Well, I didn't spend enough time preparing like some of these players who had an entire quest log of 20 complete quests ready to turn in as soon as that experience bar ticked on at 4 o'clock Eastern for me. I didn't have my dang old XP guide pre-installed and paid for, so I knew where to go after level 20. I wasn't super prepared. Actually, if you tried to use the guide website that day, I had some experience with other people had experience. It was so slow, bro. It was bogged down. It took me like an hour just to get to the checkout page, and I was like, what am I doing? Literally, after I got it, I was like, all right, I can't do this. We got to go do dungeon grinds, because it was just taking me to certain areas to do quests, and there's like 100 people competing for the mobs, which was the similar experience in phase 1. But it wasn't as magical. I don't know. It wasn't as fun. I literally got so bored of doing the quests. I didn't have any new runes right off the bat. I feel like it should have started with like a boom. Here's a new quest for your first rune to get you going. I don't think anybody saw their first rune for hours. I think most people did what I did, and that's stay inside of Razor Fen Crawl killing boars. Look, it's not the best dungeon. It's not the most fun, but you can walk in there at level 25 if you got the full BFD raid gear, and you can pretty much get through it. The last boss might be a little bit of a struggle. I think we were skipping that until we hit like level 27 or 28. But bro, I just did BFD like a bunch of times. I'm looking online. I'm looking on YouTube. We're sending DMs to other players like, hey, you found any runes yet? Bro, nobody found runes. Like 12 hours of playing on my first day, I found one rune. I heard about another one for my shaman, then I was like, yeah, I'll get that later. It doesn't seem that good. But I spent like 12 hours killing boars. And honestly, bro, the players with the full quest log, like I did a /who after like 1 hour of SoD launch. And there was people like level 28 and 29, like an hour into it. Like, bro, how sweaty are you? So I really feel like they could have had a new approach to it. And honestly, I didn't do a ton of discovering myself. I wasn't running around the zones looking for my runes because, bro, the zones are so huge. Where are the runes? I ended up finding one, which it was in Thousand Needles, and honestly, I probably wouldn't have found it on my own. Which, it's kind of nice that there's adding new things to it, but if I didn't see a bunch of new stuff in the first 12 hours, like, yeah, I think you missed the mark a little bit on that one, Blizzard. Season of Discovery, a lot of people found most of the stuff pretty early. Like, I think most of the rune locations were known within the first 24 hours. And I think in an effort to avoid that, they maybe hid them a little better or put them behind gates that we can't quite see right now. But bruh, I logged in today. I was looking around online today. There's not a lot of information about these runes. It is fun to discover a bunch of stuff, but like, put more stuff in it. Don't just take a limited amount of stuff and make it harder to find. Put more stuff in it. If you're going through all this effort to make a new WoW experience, to give me new seasons of a new version of an old game, put more stuff in it. I don't know, like the level 1 through 25, it felt like there was a good balance of finding a new rune and then continuing to do your quests. But 25 to 40, I don't think the balance is quite there. I feel like right when you hit 26, you were capped at 25 before. I think right when you hit 26 to go get those next skills, they should have gave you a quest for your first rune. But I don't think I got my first rune, which even buffed a new slot, until like 2-3 hours into the game. But no, it reminded me of the South Park episode so much, because seemingly the most efficient way for me to level was to just stay into RFK and just kill the boars. There's other mobs in there, but there's a lot of boars in there. Now, I think my plan is to try to get to 40 to get the mount, because if I'm really gonna have to run around and explore the zones to find these runes, Ghost Wolf is fast, but I think I need a mount for this. I feel bad for anybody who's like running around like a paladin or a warrior, just like at regular run speed, like, I'm gonna go find my runes, I'm gonna discover them. them. Like, but good luck. I hope you find them. It doesn't have to be about runes. I think most of the new stuff is runes. I feel like there should be just more items, or there should be something. Most of the players I talk to, other players that I play with and know, like, they played for 8 to 12 hours and they didn't find anything. Maybe one rune, maybe no runes. So I don't really have high hopes for the next phase of Season of Discovery. Like, it's going to be even slower, right? It's going to be even more spaced out. I did initially like that they were breaking down the levels so you didn't have to try to get 1 through 60 and find everything there. You could just focus on certain sections of your leveling process. But like, bruh, I got to level 30. People were like level 37, 38 by the time I logged off. Like, actually insane. But I got to level 30 and I got 1 rune and I only heard about another one. And there's supposed to be like a dozen or so. What about you guys? What are you playing? You find a lot of runes? Am I just dumb because I stuck myself in the RFK and it's like, bro, of course you're not going to find anything. I don't feel like a lot of people found a lot of the new stuff in this new season. Either way, come get lit with me on Twitch. I play a shaman. Come join a group or a raid with me. If you play a shaman and you found some runes, let me know. Send them to me. Bro, the 1 rune I got gives me 40% more threat, which is cool, but it's a 30-minute buff I have to cast. You just give me a passive. Let me just have it. Bro, it wore off. I forgot to recast it. I was like, why do I keep losing aggro? Anyway, I'm bad at the game. Have a lit day.